recently, Scott Pruitt was speaking to local reporters in Las Vegas about the issue of climate change. As we know, Pruitt is the head of the EPA and unfortunately does not believe that climate change poses a risk to humanity. And so when he was asked about those controversial views, here's what he had to say. Now, keep in mind, by the way, that Pruitt used to deny that climate change existed. He used to deny that climate change was caused by human behavior. But he's changing his tune. He's pivoting to a different talking point now that I want you to pay close attention to. He said, I think there's assumptions made that because the climate is warming, that necessarily is a bad thing. Okay. Is it an existential threat? Is it something that is unsustainable, or what kind of effect or harm is this going to have? We know that humans have most flourished during times of what? Warming trends? Wow, okay. So I don't know which period of time he's referring to when temperatures increased to the point where you have ice caps melting, sea levels rising, extreme weather conditions happening, extreme drought impacting certain parts, certain regions of the world, including Southern California, by the way, which leads to extreme wildfire seasons. I mean, at what point are we flourishing? No, he doesn't know. I mean, this is his, pro-oil industry talking point BS that is incredibly dangerous, especially when you consider the fact that the EPA still, under his leadership, does believe that climate change poses a risk. The Pentagon believes that climate change will be a national security nightmare because of the fact that agriculture is more difficult to grow. There is food insecurity that has been exacerbated by climate change. I mean, this guy is an absolute clown. And again, previously, he denied that the climate was warming. Yeah. Previously, he was like, no, I don't know, this isn't happening at all. Now all of a sudden he's like, okay, yeah, so maybe it's happening. But isn't it kind of a good thing when it's hot outside?
That's exactly right. I hadn't thought of that, but it's kind of a Valley Girl thing to say from an un-Valley Girl guy.
Yeah.
But there are wars that are going to be fought over this. The vanishing natural resources, as Anna says, the agricultural belts are changing where they are on the globe. Water is going to be a huge issue. I mean, this is a vanishing resource. You're seeing it played out in South Africa now, and that will be something that war is already, backdoor wars are already being fought over this. That is, there's armed conflict over water and natural resources. So he can stick his head in the ever-drying sand all he wants to, but this is an issue that's hitting them right in the face. Meantime, under this guy's administration of the EPA, they are dismantling his agency, of course, right? He is seeing to the fact that the regulations, minimal though they were, are being lifted on everything from oil drilling to mineral exploitation in our natural, in our national parks. So this guy is abysmal and evil, and an abysmal and evil cabinet, and he's getting help from the Interior Department, and as I say, and from all of Trump's cabinet. But his denial of this it's insane.
It is insane. But the reality is, he has certain corporate interests in mind. During this very interview, he also talked about fossil fuels and essentially defended them. So we know, we know who he's supportive of or which corporations he's supportive of, even if it means sacrificing the well-being of humans in general in order to make sure that these corporations and oil companies turn a profit.
And last thing, real quick, last coda, even apart from the climate change, the amount of pollution and the number of different pollutants that Pruitt is allowing to now enter the water supply and into landfills and all the other ways that those pollutants get into air, et cetera. Now it's off the chart. I mean, if you look at how he's undone those minimal regulations, leave aside climate change. Pollutants themselves are, as I say, just off the scale in terms of entering the environment under his administration.
You just watched the video by the Young Turks, home of the revolution. If you'd like to get a lot more than that, get the full show by becoming a member. tytnetwork.com/join.